Welcome to the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm Molly O'Brien, and this is Kathy Burt. She is the co-curator of Making Her Mark. She also is the owner of the Bert Gallery. Yes. I should mention that part as well. That's kind of important, right?
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Sure. So we're talking a little bit about Making Her Mark, and the symposium is tomorrow. And you have this big event happening all month long. Really neat. Yes. And so before we get to talking about Making Her Mark and the entire gallery and how you curated it, let's talk a little bit about the symposium that's tomorrow.
Sure.
Really neat. So let's talk a little bit about what you have going on.
Sure. So Making Her Mark is an exhibit that's been running on all month, and it's looking at the 6 founders of the Providence Art Club, the women. And so to further that discussion, we have the artwork, we have the archival show. We've invited 6 different speakers to come in and talk about, you know, from all over the place, from Fordham, from the Brandywine Museum, to talk about how do our Providence women look compared to what other things were going on across the country for other women artists.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's really great. So tomorrow it's at the First Baptist Church, and we have 300 people already registered.
Wow.
Yeah, but if you've ever been in the First Baptist Church, which is an experience all in of itself, it's 700 people. So we're really hoping that it's a free event. It's open to the public. Registration starts at 8:30. The speakers will be going about every 45 minutes. There'll be a different speaker. The topics are going to be, how did women become professional artists in 1880? Who are some of the Providence women? We're going to have a panel of collectors who collect art and tell you about why they collect and why they got excited about collecting it. So there's a little bit of everything. So we invite everybody to come. It's going to be a good group, and I think it's going to be a great day. So.
And really neat just kind of how this whole process is really taking shape with Women's History Month, and going in and looking at really just how the Providence Art Club was founded and really how it has taken shape.
Right, exactly. So this month is the 30th anniversary of Women's History Month, and it's a really critical period of time. And the Art Club really took this initiative. We've been working on this project for over a year and a half. And it turns out that the Providence Art Club is the first art club in the United States to accept women and have women as their founders. Wow. So that's a major mark. And it's important, and why these scholars are coming in to talk about this is that Providence was dynamic, and it has great art foundation. I mean, that's why we have the Rhode Island School of Design. That's why we still have the Providence Art Club 137 years later. So these women, we're here to celebrate these women. We're here to talk about their stories, and they're very inspirational. They really are. So.
And it's interesting that something, 100 and some years ago can still be so prevalent and so relevant and newsworthy today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are women who are, we focused in on the year of 1880 when the Providence Art Club was founded. And what we are looking at is women who have lived through the Civil War. They don't have the right to vote, but they have this opportunity to start to get a profession and to be a professional women artist. So it's very great to see how these small little changes actually create bigger, changes throughout the world for women. So we have women who are self-taught. Their fathers may have worked in Brown and Sharp here locally and learned how to draw. We have women who went to Paris and they studied in Paris and they bring back those ideas to Providence.
Wow, yeah.
And then we have teachers, people like Mary C. Wheeler, who started the Wheeler School, Sophia Pittman, Moses Brown. So it's a real
big names.
Big names, community events. We've borrowed from 6 different institutions. We've had to really look hard for these women because many of their stories are lost. I've been in the art world for about 30 years, and there are women artists in the show that I had never seen a painting of theirs before. And so we searched, it was like being, a big inspector or a big detective. We've searched high and low. Nancy Grinnell, my co-curator, has incredible relationships with various museums. She went down and started looking in storage units, trying to find them. We found them in personal collections. And the problem was that some of these were just kind of there, but they needed to be restored, they needed to be reframed, and all of that has happened. So it's a very dynamic exhibit because you're getting to see all of these women together for the first time from that 1880 period.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
And what does it really take to be able to curate something like this? Because I think that sounds extremely difficult, but what does it take to do that, and why do you think it's so important?
Well, you know, Nancy Grinnell and I both come to looking at paintings, and so sometimes you get a remarkable piece of artwork and you kind of say to yourself, well, who did this and why did they do it and what did they do else, you know, what other paintings? So we started off with these 6 women artists, and we said, okay, what would it be like to be a woman in 1880? So you research that.
I'm going to say no thanks. I don't want to think about it. It sounds tough.
It is. It
sounds
is tough. It is. And then 3 of the women, we couldn't find anything on.
Wow.
But the other 3 we did. And, you know, they're like us. They have choices to make. Some get married, some continue to paint. They have to have studios. So it was really like a lot of detective work. And then it's looking through and trying to understand what their story was, what was their life like. And sometimes you have to be careful not to think about it in terms of today. Like there was no museum in Providence at that time in 1880. So they would actually get, when they would put on their first exhibition, they would get 1,300 people that would come through in a month because this
seems like a lot.
It's a lot.
That seems like quite a few people.
I mean, most shops I think would enjoy getting 1,300 people through their doors to look at art or whatever. So it's great. And the art club, I'm so delighted to work with the Providence Art Club because they have this incredible vision to start to do the show. They went out and they fundraised. They worked with all the community. They're offering this symposium again, which is free to the public. The exhibit is free to the public. And this is an institution that since 1880, they continually put up art exhibits. You can always go. They have 50% of their membership are artists, and 50% of those artists are women. So they've taken their mission very seriously, and they've continued with that mission. And it all started with these 6 women who helped found it, and then all of these other women who became participants and equal members. Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to continue not only that mission, but to talk about that mission, especially right now?
Well, I think that it's important because sometimes we learn our lessons from that. And I looked at these women and I thought, wow, what a challenge, and how they each came to that challenge and decided how they were going to do that. Like there were 2 women who were totally self-taught. And they went and they opened up their studios. They invited people into their studios. They got people interested in collecting their work. There was another woman who was also did beautiful portraits. And she actually, if you really want to have a fun time, go over to the Providence City Hall and go to the 2nd floor. And the mayoral portrait from 1881 is the first portrait done by a woman. Her name is Henrietta Belcher. And her father was a shoemaker, and her husband owned a hardware store. And you say, how does this woman figure out to become a portrait artist and a good one, and enough because to get a mayoral portrait, you had to really be competitive. So she had to submit to that. And one of the fun things that's nice about the exhibit is we have this archival component. So you can go in, and the City of Providence was very nice. They gave us the actual deed and the contract to her in 1881.
So cool.
So you can see what she was paid and how she got this, and then you can also go to see the painting at City Hall.
Now, was that considered almost risque at the time, or was it past that point where she was painting?
It wasn't. It was really considered a job. I mean, a professional job. I mean, it was great that women kind of came out there, and there weren't very many opportunities for women after the Civil War, and you had many teachers, and you had many people that did other things, but to become an artist and to be self-reliant
and paid for
and paint and pay for your studio, pay for your home, pay for everything. It's just like today going out there and becoming an artist. I mean, I'm sure that Providence has amazing artists, and you talk to them, and there are daily struggles, and those same daily struggles were the same that they were in 1880. And so it's fun to see. And the art club was a venue for people to come and to show their work and give people the opportunity to purchase their work and support their artists and their profession.
And what do you think comes next? Because we're winding this down as March kind of winds down and you get through with the symposium, and 300 people have already signed up, but hoping for 700, and Making Her Mark kind of winds down as we wind down March. What do you see coming next?
Well, what I think is as they like to say in the art world, it's a work in progress. I mean, we've started to make these discoveries, but the discoveries still keep going on.
Scoot over. We kind of here.
The discoveries keep going on. So let's take something like, if you typed in one of the names of these artists, you wouldn't find them on Google. Now, for the first time, these artist names are coming up. People are calling us. They're saying, I have works by art and stuff. So I see this as the community coming together and the art world coming together to start to research and explore and find these women artists. And I'm sure they're going to keep contacting the art club, and it's going to be continually building that information, that data on that, and maybe we'll discover new women artists that we didn't even know about.
That would be fantastic.
Great.
Kathy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. So
Okay.
if you want some more information, Making Her Mark, the symposium is Saturday.
That's right, and it's at the First Baptist Church. You can always go to the Providence Art Club website, and they have all the details for you when you can sign up and come. And again, remember, all these events are free and open to the public, so please join us.
And you can't be free, so go out and take a look. Enjoy some art, correct?
That's it. Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Kathy,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you.